I'm Michelle Hennis. I work at the college. I'm coordinator of Children's Learning Center, and I'm also a full-time faculty member. So I've had some of you classes and things in other places, so you know who I am. In 2007, when the P16 Council was just a vision in Lorain County, a lot of us got together. We started meeting, and Dr. Church at that time and Paul Rigga from O'Leary City Schools said we need to get busy. We need some synergy. We need to get things moving. So the work groups were formed, and there were only 3 work groups at that time: P2, 3 middle grades, and then high school. And the other groups have evolved as we see the need. So we were given the task as a P2 work group to do things like figure out who's doing what in Lorain County, and to do some, whatever needed to be out there. And lo and behold, Vicki came to the P2 work group before it was a formal thing and said, I have a need. And we said, okay, that's where we can start. And so we spent, 4 weeks in that summer, that first summer, working at the Timber Lakes development in Avon, with parents and children there, helping them to know what development of their toddlers were, development of kindergartners were, preschoolers, what can you do at home, how do you make a better connection with school. It was very successful. The parents that did attend really liked it. We went right to their rec center and did these classes by the week. And that kind of was like our starting place. It's like, okay, this is what we need to be doing out here in Lorain County. Looking at the problem of transition from early childhood into the public school system was another thing that we looked at. And the research that came out through the P16 Council and what we were studying showed that that was one of the biggest dropout points, or starting with the dropout point for these children. That parents had this wonderful relationship with the caregivers that they've had for 5 years, and then when they went to kindergarten, they started all over again trying to build a relationship. And that information that was happening over that 5 years was getting left behind, and it was all starting over with at the kindergarten door. And that we also didn't have a lot of collaboration between the birth to 5 care and education and the public school education, or the formal K through 12 education. So with that in mind, we were trying to figure out how we could get, that was our job, that was what we were challenged with. So we've done some things that to try to start building communications, awareness of kindergarten, awareness of what you need to do to be successful in kindergarten. And what we have found is that we really need to bring the 2 entities together, the birth to 5 and the formal K through 12 system. And that we need to share what we have done for the last 5 years with that child, what we know about that child, with the kindergarten. So kindergarten is not recreating the wheel. It is a smooth transition, and the parents feel very welcomed, and it's just a seamless transition into kindergarten. So that's about where we are with our P2 work group, along with other things, education. We're trying to get collaboration with all the agencies in Lorain County. We do meet about 4 to 6 times a year, depending on what's going on and everyone's schedule. You are all invited to be part of our P2 work group. It's not in a group of, oh, that's that one's friend, and now it's the whole county. So if you haven't been invited, it's because we don't know about you, or we haven't gotten your name someplace, or whatever. So if you want to be part of our work group, even if you can't attend the meetings, but you want all the correspondence that goes out with them, because we do everything via email usually, we'd like to keep you updated. We'd like input to what we're doing. We can come out to your centers and maybe help you with a parent night, those kind of things. So we really need to have you part of our group. And if anybody from the group wants to add anything right now, feel free to. But so it's another thing you need to put maybe on the sign in, sign out list. Yes, please, you have my email to the P2 work group distribution list. Our biggest project right now is, and we've been working on this for 2 years and this is last year we piloted it very small with just a very few, maybe 25 children and their caregivers with the school system is a transition document. So the things that you know about that child in your center, in your home, in your preschool right now, efficiently gets to kindergarten and gets part of their permanent record. And so with that said, we have this year expanded the pilot, and it is still pilot. We are going to pilot this into 4 school districts that we've highlighted, not meaning that other only places will do. If anybody else wants to, and you're sending somebody to not one of those school districts, you can. But Vicki's going to explain the transition document that we want to ask you to be part of. And I know Jenny did a lot of phone calls to you, asking you to come, because this is something that Jenny and I both, as center directors or teachers in the early childhood, know that we often wanted to say, but this is what I know about this child, and how do I get it there and it be valued. So I think this is where we are right now, and Vicki's going to explain the document and the process to you, and then we'll talk about questions and answers and what you can do to help us with this pilot this year. Okay?